What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the YCS absolutely wrecking the market. But first, a little ban list buyout. MX Saber Invoker is listed for over double in price versus what it was recently selling at. Sold out at the $5 mark and now lines up at 8 to 9. So not the biggest jump in the world, not even double digits, but it shows a YCS has wrapped up. Worlds is around the corner. Oh, ban list, gotta get that ban list. So you're gonna see cards start to move. And I want to add a little cautionary tale here that doesn't apply to this one. Remember when things bloat up and double up and go another ban list and another ban list? It can get to where there's so many holders for a card that it ends up actually failing when the ban list peels it off. Remember Thunder Dragon Colossus Ultimate Rares going from $80 all the way down to $40 after being released, and now they're sitting at $20 after a rarity collection. That ultimate rare looks really nice for $20. But my point is that a ban list can actually be the reckoning for a card that peels off rather than a happy day for the people trying to play the cycle. So the cycle begins with MX Saber Invoker. It's free in the OCG. It could be free in Master Duel, and people start to theory these cards, and I do actually respect that kind of theorio a bit more than others where, okay, one format has it, why don't both, and where does it go from there? I do get why people would start to think that way. Now, it does have a nice Battles of Legends secret rare, OG secret rare. You have cheap versions here, and then the Platinum secret being mostly ignored. There's tons of copies to go around unless it really did peel off, so be aware that people are targeting the highest end of this card right now. Justice Hunters totally has movement thanks to the YCS. And it's interesting too. Steven Trifanowski won with, guess what it is? Cupsy Wupsy. He actually did the meme. And with that, he took it down and did something awesome. He's raising money for Palestine along with a ton of other creators over here, and you see MBT giving 1,000, GCD giving 1,000, and it has ballooned up. You don't see a lot of champions take a moment to sit down and make it not about them, and he also made it about Yu-Gi-Oh! On the discourse online, you saw Pokemon players coming in with the typical, it's only $70 to play our game, what's stopping you? And it's this guy that's done it over and over and over. And Triff replied, yeah, I can't hand trap in Pokemon. And I love these versions of Yu-Gi-Oh! And just coming in with a level head, not beating his chest on the dub like that. Of course, he's celebrating, but it's his second time around. He's being a real class act here, and I gotta hand it to him. This is a really good look. Now, with that, the Cupsy Wupsy meme being in coverage pushed it above all of the others, and it is now a $15 card. So jumping from 10, not the most in the world, but I've said for a while, this market equilibrium between the four, it just can't exist. It doesn't for any archetype. Something always pulls ahead, and it finally is Cupsy Yummy over Cookie, Lolly, and Snatchy. Now, towards the top end, there's not that same movement for these specific cards. The Starlight is pretty equal over here still, and you're not seeing a big pull ahead. You're mostly seeing Lollipo actually fall behind the others, if anything. We see more Draco Tail buyouts, and we do have Jesse Cotton in the top 8 with the deck, and several other people, I believe, topped with the deck as well. So this innovative version using Blazing Cartesia ended up causing a buyout for all versions of Blazing Cartesia. There is that all foil structure deck around the corner. I would think she would get another printing in there, but people are buying out even the Battles of Legend Ultra of her, and the Ultra Art at the very higher end is going up again as well. These were all recently targeted. They had been coming down, so they were easier to target again for a buyout, but we'd seen some of the lower versions already starting to bounce back up before this, so fuel on the fire for some, while others it actually was pouring rain in a sense. All the deck lists are up over here if you'd like to go through them on the official Konami blog, and they've been very helpful for giving examples of, oh, this was played a lot, or this wasn't played surprisingly that much. Nibiru was in a lot of decks, and the altar art has popped back up in price here and is on buyout mode towards 75. Now, Ultimate Rares are on a generational fall off. This continues to go down, and it of course has its quality control issues that are even on TCG Player. Look at that attack stat with the 0 shoved to the side, but it's been doing nothing but going down still. Yet, this Alter Art QCR and the OG Art QCR are bouncing back up, and now that one is towards 40 as well. So largely ignored is what was the top end, and Super Shiny Sparkly seems to be in at the moment. Same for Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. The Ultimate Rare is super expensive and only has one sale after everything, and this had a huge moment as well versus Paradise Smasher with Triff, and you see this was only downward for the most part. We actually got upward motion and a ton of people buying Ghost Ogres versus what the previous sales were, and it gets a baby bump. It goes from 20 and only bleeding back up towards 22, which is its first upward motion in a while. Book of Eclipse, I've seen so many people talking about, you better book the Cupsy Wupsy and that kind of stuff, but Book of Eclipse is the book of choice that people seem to be playing. It's not that populated in Top Cut, yet it still did go up in price towards $24. And that's what I love about having the list. Like, we can look up Book of Eclipse, right? And we see it only appears twice out of all of these. That's kind of wild, isn't it? Yet it's still got an impact from this weekend. Kashtira Fenrir also. I was surprised to see that Kashtira Fenrir only appears 3 times here, yet it is also going up in price a good amount, and a lot of people are quoting to play it to this format. It's in less than, what is that? That's like around 10% of decks or something like that, and yet it is going up in price for every single version with the 10s around the corner. Konami listened. The Bestials are getting Starlights. Like, I would think that they would also be saving some banger announcements. Well, today we got 2 more cards that have QCRs already. We got Heart of Blue Eyes and Starlight Road, finally the meme. But jokes aside, I do think they're holding some bangers back. It's not all going to be disappointing announcements. I would think Kashtira Fenrir would be among them, but maybe they're holding it out for like a battle set. Who knows? But at this point, all variants are going up, and you can see it was a huge dip for the Ultimate Rare a while ago, and it's back up too, so people are buying into Fenrir even without the most results in the world. Al Shaddoll Annoy Tillis. Try saying that 5 times faster out the gate. Its Secret Rare version is going up in price, and that's interesting because it did not have results over at the YCS, and so people are buying out a lot of Shaddoll cards, and Shaddolls did have their top with Draco Tails if you look through, but every version of Shaddoll Fusion versus that not the most results in the world at a YCS is towards $5 now. There's very few $4 copies if you look through. Here's Duelist Alliance, and you can see they're all getting bought out and going up very fast, $6 low, and then it's quickly up from there. But if you click the Platinum Secrets, they're some of the cheapest when they're supposed to do better than a super rare. Yet a lot of people like to go back for OG copies, don't they? But then we look through a Structure Deck Super, right? And it's also performing around 5. So it's funny that these are all pushing the same as the Plat, or even more when it's right here. And the Secret Rare out of Shadows of Valhalla, it's doing really well at 560, yet you could get this for the same price as the Super. So remember, whenever you're buying a card and you just kind of assume what's the lowest, look around and pick and choose your version. Take your time. Now, Shaddoll Genius is up towards $13 now as well. That is just crazy to me. Let's see if that actually did top in the list. Nash Shaddoll, it doesn't say that it is in there. Let's actually look up the Shaddoll list real quick. It has Shaddoll Beast, and then it has Shaddoll Winda there with the Draco Tails, and Canine. All right. Then I wanted to bring up real quick and revisit the Art Mage stuff, because so many people were hype on those buyouts when they happened. They told me it's the truth, it's going to have this future support, and I feel like people get caught up in that cycle. And I've mentioned it. Remember Spyro Spiral and how Spiral Super Agent went from $4 to $9, $4 to $12, and kept falling back down. But the new support's almost here. It could be really good, and people get FOMO and they buy in and they sell off. Well, you're selling higher in those cases, so you're also getting a reward loop, aren't you? When it comes down to this, it's lower than the initial buyouts now. You can see here, started around 60, really spiked up, and now is all the way down towards $47 for these QCRs, and most of them have all fallen back down and out too, including the secret rare, the I gotta have it to play it version. It was up towards 20 at one point, and it's down towards 12. So do keep in mind with these cycles, if you're getting caught up into them, timing feels like it's everything with them, and it's really gotta pay off, and so far it just hasn't with this archetype. I agree, it's one of those things where it feels like it's almost there, and Spiral did, but then it took the OCG exclusive import for it to actually just pop off. It really was one card away. So when something is so close, I get wanting it so bad, but this right now is floundering from that effect. And then Perulia, I just wanted to bring it up again because it is in so many lists. And I stand by what I said. I feel like this has another reprint around the corner. Now, will it be the 10s? I would hope so. But with them putting one of the Molcharmies in the structure deck, they very well could piece it out. So people could be paying a lot to play this upcoming season, or Konami can play the hero in a super hard to pull pool that will still get opened a ton in the 10s and really bring the price down. We'll have to wait and see, but this is so expensive and continues to be a topic, and it is being played in mass. If you're not playing through the off season, personally, my call is to still sell it. I stand by that. But if it's not in the 10s, you could see some real craziness with this card. Thanks for watching today's Market Watch. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy these conversations. And do remember, it's a lot of speculation when it comes to this stuff. You're making calls, and you're not going to always be right. I'm not always right with all my experience, and things can go sideways, for sure. I would think Konami, after getting the BIS deals and hitting that hammer on the head, would put Fenrir in here, but they could piece it out somewhere else and not be confident about X set or Y set and feel like they need an extra special set. Like, it does suck how they do that. They just want to give it to you all at once, and who knows what Konami will do except for themselves when they do it.